face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Welcome to Pulse of Africa with Frau Namak. We are covering inspiring stories and key moments shaping Africa. We will start with AU's concern on recent developments in Venezuela. The African Union is following with grave concern the recent developments in the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, including reports of the abduction of the President of the Republic, Nicolas Maduro, and military attacks on Venezuelan institutions. The African Union reaffirmed its steadfast commitment to the fundamental principles of international law, including respect for the sovereignty of states, their territorial integrity, and the right of people to self-determination as enriched in the Charter of the United Nations. The African Union underscores the importance of dialogue, peaceful settlement of disputes, and respect for constitutional and institutional frameworks, and a spirit of good neighborhoodness, cooperation, and peaceful coexistence among nations. The African Union emphasizes that the complex internal challenges facing Venezuela can only be sustainably addressed through inclusive political dialogue among Venezuelans themselves. The African Union expresses its solidarity with the Venezuelan people and reiterates its commitment to the promotion of peace, stability, and mutual respect among nations and regions. The African Union calls upon all parties concerned to exercise restraint, responsibility, and respect for international law to prevent any escalation and to preserve regional peace and stability. Liberia has formally taken its seat in the United Nations Security Council, marking a historic return through its first fully elected mandate in more than 6 decades. Speaking at the Security Council flag installation ceremony, Liberia's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ambassador Lewis Brown, described the moment as symbolic of the country's journey from conflict to stability and its readiness to contribute responsibility to international peace and security. He said the installation of Liberia's flag reflects global confidence in the country's progress since the end of its civil war conflict and the withdrawal from UN peacekeepers.
It is one that reminds us that membership of the Security Council carries not only procedural obligation, but also deep responsibility. Today, as our flag, the Lone Star, is installed in these halls, we mark more than a ceremonial change. It is a defining moment in Liberia's national journey and a reflection of President Boykai's enduring belief that peace is both a privilege and certainly a duty.
Backed by 181 UN member states, Liberia's election underscores its commitment to multilateralism, diplomacy, and consensus building. Ambassador Brown emphasized that Liberia now serves not as a symbol of recovery, but of responsibility, pledging that the country will bring its experience of reconciliation to support global peace efforts.
Liberia is here because multilateralism worked, because the Security Council acted with resolve, because the African Union and ECOWAS stood firm, and because partners across the world believed that even nations emerging from conflict can contribute to global peace. President Boykai's vision could not be clearer. Peace anywhere strengthens peace everywhere. Insecurity anywhere threatens stability everywhere. Liberia's own experience affirms that sustainable peace is built through dialogue, inclusion, and respect for human dignity.
Looking ahead, Liberia pledges to approach its mandate guided by experience and anchored in the UN Charter. Rwanda has introduced a universal hepatitis B birth dose into the national immunization program as part of efforts to eliminate the viral disease as a public health threat within the next 4 years. The Rwandan Biomedical Center said this will ensure that all newborns receive the vaccine within 24 hours of birth to prevent mother-to-child transmission of the hepatitis B virus and its lifelong complications. The birth dose vaccine is the most effective and cost-effective intervention to prevent mother-to-child transmission. Introduction of the universal birth dose further strengthens Rwanda's commitment to eliminating viral hepatitis as a public health threat by 2030, the statement said. To implement the initiative, the RBC said the government has trained health workers, reinforced cold chain systems to ensure vaccine safety, and equipped health facilities nationwide to provide the vaccine within 24 hours of birth, including for babies born outside health facilities. Hepatitis B is a highly infectious viral disease that can be transmitted from mother to child during childbirth.
New roads, hotels, and services are welcoming visitors to Ethiopia's historic sites and natural wonders. Tourism creates jobs and celebrates our culture. Investing in visitors invests in our future.
Equatorial Guinean President Teodoro Obiang Nguema Mbasogo has affirmed the relocation of the capital city from Malabo, located on Bioko Island, to the mainland city of Ciudad de La Paz in Jibolo province, according to the state-run Information and Press Office of Equatorial Guinea. Obiang signed the decree on the relocation of the capital plan during a ceremony attended by top government officials. Ciudad de La Paz, which means City of Peace, aims to improve accessibility and address logistical and security issues associated with island-based Malabo. The relocation of the nation's capital from its security standpoint is a crucial step given that the government has been the victim of several attacks originating from abroad via maritime routes, the Information and the Press Office said in a statement. The relocation also allows the Central African country to break with outdated colonial-era structures that no longer contribute to its modernization, the statement added. The return of the All-African Music Awards to Lagos has firmly positioned the city at the center of Africa's music and creative landscape. Afrima's journey to this moment reflects more than a decade-long effort to consolidate and celebrate Africa's growing dominance in global music. From its inception, the awards were conceived not merely as a ceremony, but as a platform for continental unity and creative empowerment. As Afrima's president, Mike Dada, has repeatedly emphasized, Afrima is not just a music platform, it's a movement. Now scheduled for January 7 to 11, 2026, the event shifts from its original November 2025 date, reflects the growing scale and long-term vision of Africa's biggest music awards. With the theme Unstoppable Africa, Afrima highlights the continent's rising global influence in music and culture. Backed by the African Union and strongly supported by the Nigerian government and the Lagos state government, Afrima has evolved beyond an award ceremony into a platform for cultural diplomacy, unity, and creative empowerment. The event is expected to attract artists, industry leaders, and media from across the world, delivering significant economic benefits through tourism, hospitality, and job creation, while reinforcing Lagos' reputation as Africa's leading music and cultural hub. Moving on to business news, Sudan's central bank announced monetary and banking reforms for 2026 intended to stabilize prices and rebuild a financial system crippled by more than 20 months of war. The conflict that erupted in April 2023 has cost lenders an estimated $20 billion in looted or destroyed assets, pushed non-performing loans above 6%, and triggered a sharp drop in deposits, the bank said in a circular. Under the new framework, the regulatory targets money supply growth of 47.6% and monetary base expansion of 41.1%, with average inflation expected to ease to 65% next year from current triple-digit levels. Policy priorities include recapitalizing weak lenders, expanding digital payment networks, and channeling credit to agriculture and manufacturing to curb inflation and steady the exchange rate. The bank also pledges to introduce green finance rules and tighten liquidity requirements alongside stress tests and a real-time early warning system to monitor cash flows. A separate restructuring strategy for banks and non-bank financial institutions will be published later this year, the central bank added. Moving to sports news, Senegalese star Sadio Mane etched his name in the history book of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, setting a new record during his country's 3-1 victory over Sudan. The win secured the Lion of Teranga, a sport, in the quarterfinals. Senegal triumphed over Sudan with a 3-1 scoreline in the round of 16 clash, held on Saturday evening at the Grand Stade de Tanger. The continental tournament is currently taking place in Morocco and it concludes on January 18. Mane was a pivotal figure in the match, playing a decisive role by assisting two of Senegal's 3 goals. This performance elevated his total number of assists in the tournament's history to 9, placing him at the top of the all-time list. He now surpasses Ivorian legend Yaya Touré's previous record by 2 assists. Following this victory, Senegal will advance to the quarterfinals, where they are set to face the winner of the highly anticipated match between Tunisia and Mali, which is currently underway at the Mohammed V complex. Mali booked their place in the quarterfinals of the Total Energy CAF Africa Cup of Nations 2025 after defeating Tunisia 3-2 on penalties, following a 1-1 draw after extra time at Casablanca's Mohammed V Stadium. The match was physically demanding, with Mali reduced to 10 men in the 27 minutes after Wayo Koulibaly received a red card, while Tunisia lost defender Dylan Brown to injury early on. Tunisia took the lead in the 88th minute through Firas Chaota, but Mali were awarded the stoppage time penalty after Yassine Meria's handball, which Lassine Sianko calmly converted to sending the next match into extra time. With few clear chances in extra time, the game went to a shootout where Mali were more composed, with goalkeeper Digolo Diarra saying crucial attempt to seal the win. Post-match, Diarra said the victory was for the Malian people, while Tunisian coach Sami Trabelsi admitted a disappointment over the late equalizer. Mali coach Tom Saint-Fate praised his team's intelligence and composure, adding that they are now focused on a tough quarter-final clash against Senegal. Let's take a look at the current weather forecast across Africa. That's all for this hour, and thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.